Oh, wait. Okay.
Hey. Okay. So how this is gonna work is I get distracted by the chat very easily. So I'm just going to go based off of my outline, and then I will address the chat later. Hey, welcome to PXLTV5. Okay. The original title for this was gonna be Hags. Y'all remember signing yearbooks, right? Do we still do that? Do they still do that? Do we still do that? It's been a minute. It's been like a decade and a year since I've been in high school. Do we still do that? Ugh. No, we don't still do that because we're adults now. So no, we don't. I'm sorry, y'all. Like this. Oh, because the charger's in the way. Well, let's see. Okay. There we go. We're better now. So I have an outline. Welcome to PXLTV5. Okay. So, thank you for holding space for me. That's what I wrote down here. It says thank them for holding space. So thank you for holding space for me. A quick nod to the last live stream. So the last live stream was PXLTV4. What I was talking about there was, am I an Aphex Twin clone? The answer, no, I'm not. I'm my own individual. I'm my own artist. I have some of the same influences, kind of, as Aphex Twin, but I'm more influenced by people who were influenced by him, in a sense. So it's kind of weird. I'm influenced by people who are influenced by him. I'm influenced by some of the same like origin points that he has, but I'm not directly inspired by him, but I am inspired by what he has accomplished for our industry. Absolutely. And for his artistry. His artistry is great. Absolutely. Part one, life update. So, this summer has been about, less about doing and more about surviving, literally. So, when I came into this summer, what I was expecting, I guess when I went through my court stuff, after the incident, and I'm like, okay, summer's here. I'm about to get this money. I'm about to be, somebody already liked it. 2 people are already here. Hey, y'all. So this summer, I was like, this summer, I'm about to get to the bread. I'm about to get to this money. And then I realized, oh shit, my DV charges are going to get dropped. Yes. But according to my lawyer, that's not in icons _ OFC. My charges are going to get dropped, but not until September 27th. So guess what that means? No job. Not really. Not unless I want to apply and then the third-party resource that they use for background checks fails me. And then I'm no longer allowed to apply for the company at all. And this applies for housing too. So that means living with mom and dad. Shout out to them. I'm living with mom and dad. It says I have this outline here. That's what y'all like. What am I looking at? I have an outline because I want to be focused. Thank you, Autismo. I have questions about that username, but I get the humor. I get you. I love that username. Okay. So that's why I'm not working right now. Because I know some of y'all see me and I be taking my baths, I'll be drinking my tea, I'll be smoking I'll be consuming my cannabis. You're welcome. I'll be consuming my cannabis, I'll be minding my business. But I would be out here doing my Instacart, doing my DoorDash, doing my Uber Eats. I got fired. I'm sorry. Whoops. Sorry. I got put on pause by Uber Eats because of the pending DV charge that's going to get dropped. I know, it's like, explain it to them, bro. Tell them, bro. Tell them, bro. Tell them it was self-defense, bro. Tell them what your lawyer said. I did. But because they use a third-party resource, you have to explain it to them. And they're like, well, according to what we see, I know, right? Or thank you, Autismo. But according to, it's like, we're looking at their hands are tied. The third-party resource, they're looking at the record, and it says, you have DV charges. So we don't hire people who are on that kind of time. You got to go. So, and I'm sure it's going to be a situation when September comes, I'm going to be fine. I'm not pressed about it. I just wanted y'all to know. Because I know a lot of people be out here on the stream and be bums. That's no disrespect to the bums if that's your lifestyle, but that's not what we do out here. I'm on my way up. However, I dropped out of college. That's my, thank you, icons underscore. It's EYEKONS underscore OFC. A lot of y'all be spelling icons the boring way. That's not how he does it. That's not how they do it. I'm sorry. So make sure y'all get the spelling right. Look them up. They just subscribed. Thank you so much. Oh, I'm good. It was like when I was looking at June, when I was looking at May, like, oh shit. I'm a person who likes to be productive. I like to be contributing as much as I can, especially to my, with my mom and dad and everything. I like to show them that I'm on the correct kind of time. So this has kind of made me have to like kind of show them other ways that I'm still being productive and show myself that it's not even about putting on the front. It's about actually being productive. I've been working on this album. I told y'all I've been working on this album. I've been putting a zine together for this album. I'm putting together a tour. There's going to be merch. I'm forgetting something. Did I say the film already? Okay, so and I keep leaving out one. I keep saying all the things and keep leaving out one thing. So I might be forgetting something, but that's all the stuff I'm working on and that I've been working on while I've been on this kind of downtime. I've been productive as fuck, y'all. And I'm gonna be giving y'all an album. Yeah, it's called PXL. This is called the PXLTV. This series is called PXLTV. And what that is meant to be like a live stream series attached to the project. I started this with Gemini TV. Gemini was my most recent EP. I might have even done it with Flux. I don't think I did. I think I was doing the concept when I was releasing Flux, but with Gemini for sure. You can see in my past uploads, there's a thing called Gemini TV. The TV concept is just meant, thank you, I am a devoted person. It's just kind of meant to kind of give like behind the scenes. I think it kind of spoils it for me to just be showing y'all, okay, this is the button that I press. This is the machine that I use. This is the software that I use. Just given the ingredients. It's like y'all like pizza. You might like pizza. You don't want the tomato and the cheese and the dough just thrown at you. Like, no, you want it to be presented to you in like a way where you can digest it, right? Where it's meant to be digested, right? So as a different way of doing behind the scenes, I like to just, here I am. And this is, we're in the process, like right now, I'm in the process of making PXL. So what you're seeing right now, by its very existence, is behind the scenes. So that's what this whole TV concept is. So yes, there's an album that this is all kind of building towards, and it's called PXL. It originally was called Pixel, just spelled out PIXEL, and that's what PXL refers to. It's just the oh my god, the disemvoweling. I just learned that word too, y'all. The disemvoweling of Pixel is PXL, just like the disemvoweling of Nctrnm is Nctrnm. So it just kind of continues the theming of my artist name and with the project name. It's all about identity fragmentation. It's all about what trauma does to you. Like I may have, some of you may not know, I was in a domestic violence situation with my ex in March where I had to self-defend, unfortunately. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hopefully you can look at, Icon says that they're Brazilian, so they don't understand. But hopefully when I upload this, there will be captions and you can translate the captions to Portuguese. And hopefully that works for you. But like I was saying, in March, I was in a domestic violence situation. Thank you, Autismo. They hope that I make it big with the album. I hope so too. Because like I said, the album was kind of shaped, I made the album while I was in the demise of my relationship. I was in a relationship for 7 years with somebody who was older than me, and where there was a power dynamic where it was unfair and where I didn't really know myself when we got together in my early 20s. And then by the time I was 27, 28, at the beginning of this year, I kind of had finally gained the strength to be like, this is emotionally abusive. This is, at times physically abusive. I'm not happy here. When you're in a circumstance where you're undergoing a lot of emotional and physical abuse, whether you're perpetrating it really, or whether you're having it perpetrated against you, like for the most part I was, it does a lot to you. Your identity kind of forms with that abuse. You start questioning. Thank you. A lot of people, Autismo says a lot of people wouldn't continue the work. I know, right? The demise of the relationship was bad enough. I mean, I was traveling 3 hours to school and 3 hours back, commuting, using the Metrolink, going to Cal State Fullerton, which I'm a senior at right now. I start back school later this month, actually. And so I was going to school, trying to study my ass off, coming back to an apartment that was unsafe psychologically, and it was bad, you know. And I was still, sorry, my vape pen, y'all. Sorry, I was still working on the album. Yeah, because to me, like once I commit to a project, y'all. Once I start, I'm studying business administration in school, y'all. So once I start a project, I'm committed to that. You know, you have to I was aware that I was in a relationship where I wanted it to end. Some of you may have been around for the cruise. 2022, I went on my first cruise. I documented it. Not kind of in real time, kind of not. I kind of did a poor job of it. But anyway, I went to Mexico. I went to Ensenada with my ex. And it was a great time, but I landed on the coast of Ensenada and I'm like, this is great, but look at who I'm with. All due respect to my ex. All due respect to my ex. Whatever respect is due to him. This is a weird situation. I don't know what's owed to him. Whatever that's owed to him. I'm looking back at him in the room. I'm on the balcony I had to transit. I had to transit 3 hours to school. So that's scooter, Metrolink, which is a train service, and bus. So 3 different forms of mobility that I had to do to get to school. But in 2022, I knew that I wanted to end the relationship. And in 2022, I started producing PXL. So this whole project is shaped around the psychological, like I said, the identity fragmentation, the breakdown that happens identity-wise when you've been with this person for 7 years, when you got with this person when you were 21 years old, and now you're 28, you know who you are now. You know where your values are. You know what you care about and what you don't care about. You know what kind of people you want to have in your life and what kind of behavior to you is support and what kind of behavior to you is not support. And you realize that the person that you're with, they're not there with you. They have developed differently. They have regressed in their own ways. They believe that they don't need therapy, which was the final straw for me. I guess we're here to talk. We're talking about it now. I didn't even think we were going to get into this. The final straw for me, the red flag that kind of had me come to Jesus or had me, take off the rose-colored glasses was after all that has happened in the 7 years, and I haven't even gotten into that because by court order, I'm not allowed to speak on him negatively. Until September, I'm not allowed to speak on our relationship or what happened between us in a negative light. If I do, my charges won't be dropped. So I haven't even begun to discuss what happened over the 7 years, and I want to do so, and I will do so when I'm able to, in the most tasteful and contributing to the art way as possible. Pixel is just the beginning of me reckoning with the demise of the relationship. Like I said, it started around 2018 and it ended in 2025 in March. So that's 7 years of growth, of regression for some of us, growth for others. That's 7 years to realize, the support that I have in my family, who I'm with right now, whose bathtub that I'm sitting recording in right now, whose suburb I'm recording in right now. Shout out to mom and dad, okay? Came through and scooped a nigga, We had our estrangement or whatever, but it comes time when real shit happens that you realize who's in your corner and who's not in your corner. And who's pushing you to the corner, right? And in this case, it was my ex. So I had to duck that. Being put in jail for 3 days like I was in March was the perfect excuse to completely sever ties with that. Have they been trying to reach out to me on LinkedIn? Have they been trying to reach out to me on social media? Yeah. Absolutely. I can't talk to them back though. My lawyer recommended it. They've commented on my stuff. I've mentioned, the fun I've been having in the summer, the people who I've had the grace of God to meet. I've met some of the most in this recovery, in this coming back to myself moment. I've met some of the greatest people, and I'm meeting and befriending. I'm forming friendships that were off limits to me during those 7 years that I was in that relationship. I kept myself from friendships because I didn't want to make him feel uncomfortable. I'm gonna get into. I am writing an album where I'm singing. That's not. And don't y'all do it. That was me. That's a mic. That is a literal mic. I'm singing. I already know. Don't play. Some of y'all are gonna play. Some of y'all gonna play too much. Okay. I got an album where I'm singing, where I'm gonna talk about this stuff in depth, and where I'll be allowed to. But in this interim where I'm not, just know. Yeah, they've been trying to reach out to me. Yeah, they've been trying to contact me on social media. Now's not the time. I don't know if they might be watching this. Now's not the time. Sweetie, I'm not allowed to. Have I forgiven you? Have I forgiven him? Absolutely. I forgave him when I got out and I had time to process where he was at and why he feels like that was an appropriate response to have, and that he didn't realize what this would do to me as a black man. Him being an older white man, putting me in jail. I forgave him for that. But I can't talk about what really happened over those 7 years, and I'm not going to talk about it, and I'm not going to address him in the comments the way he wants me to. I'm just going to say that I see him, I acknowledge him, and I'm going to do what my lawyers suggested, and I'm going to do what the court suggested. I'm going to keep it pushing. Because we're getting these charges dropped in September, y'all. That's what we're doing. Got to establish some boundaries. It got to fisticuffs, so we got to establish some boundaries this time. Even if I'm the one who has to do it. I'm the 28-year-old. I'm not the one who's 61. I got to establish the boundaries. I'll talk more about it when I can, y'all. I wasn't even supposed to go into it like that. But just know that I'm stepping. This whole summer has just been about it. Reestablishing who I am, where my boundaries lie, what I will and will not accept, and the kind of support that I want in my life. The kind of relationships that I want to have. The friendships that I have right now, like I was saying, are great. I'm meeting great people. I have some things in development with certain people, friendships, acquaintanceships, seeing what it's going to be ships. I'm just in that space where I'm embracing people who are embracing me back, whatever shape that takes. And I just feel really grateful to have that. Even amidst all of this, like Autismo, my new bro, Autismo, that rhymes, my new bro, Autismo. I'm still focused on this music shit. Autismo said it best while I play Atlas, while I play the first single from Gemini, GEMINI.NCTRNM.com. The song that's playing in the background is Atlas, that's ATLAS.NCTRNM.com, okay? On my promo, smooth as suave as shit, but let me move on before it gets tacky. Now, I just dropped Really, and Really has been doing great. Really has been added to 5 playlists, minimum. I said that I was going to have them loaded. Oh, I think that was the charger, y'all. That doesn't matter. Oh, where did my music? Oh, I'm sorry. My YouTube music subscription lapsed because I have other things to spend my money on this month that need that. So we don't get background music playing. So that's what happened. I closed the thing and the music stopped playing. So I got added to a few playlists. Why aren't they showing? Why aren't we showing? Okay, well, I added some of them to my artist profile. Okay, Dark Electronic is one of them. Okay, Dark Electronic. And like I said, I've been added to 4 other playlists. I'm going to do I think I did an Instagram post sharing some of them. But either way, I've also been shared a lot by you listeners. I've also been shared in a reel on Instagram. If you see any of my most recent posts on Instagram, just make sure you tap the music tag for Really, and it'll lead you to all the different posts that have been posted that feature my music. One of them has like a couple thousand plays in it. I'm really grateful for that post as well. I'm actually going to open my email right now just so I can shout out some of the playlisters. Really, I knew, because it's a slower song and because we're in summertime, but we're kind of going into late summer, I figured that it would be a slow burn and it would be a slow growth. And it's already kind of taken off. We're already on 500 streams on SoundCloud for Really. We're already on We're about to cross 100 plays on Spotify for Really, and that's great. Y'all may know on Spotify, they changed the rules to where songs don't make no money unless they get 1,000 streams. So, like I said, we're pushing on 100 for Really. And I know when the album comes out, them streams gonna jump. But if we can get Really to 1,000, then that song will become monetized, and then I can do more with the song. Sounds great to me, right? But regardless, we're pushing on 500 on SoundCloud, 100 on Spotify, on YouTube. I think we're getting close to 50 or something like that. These are great numbers. Everybody's streams have diminished. The payola, the buying streams and stuff like that, a lot of that stuff is being done away with because artificial streams and stuff are being penalized by our distributors. The people who we release music with are starting to peep game. They're starting to see that people are buying streams. People are faking engagement. So whoever does that gets kicked off the platform. Their stuff gets demonetized. Their music gets taken off the platform. So now you're starting to see, so when you look at some of your faves maybe, because everybody was doing it that's at the major level, okay? So if you see some of your faves and you see some of their streams are not looking like how they used to, music video streams not looking like they used to, that's because what you're seeing is the real interest. So when we have 500 streams on SoundCloud, that's more than some major label artists are doing on SoundCloud, y'all. Some major label artists drop the single on SoundCloud and it takes months for it to get to 500. We did it in the first 2 weeks. Amazing. Okay? You know how much music gets released on Spotify? For us to be pushing on 100, there's thousands of songs that get released to Spotify every day, and some of them barely get one stream. We are pushing on 100. Amazing. So grateful. Is it the 1,000 that they're mandating? No, but that's what Spotify demanded. That's what Spotify is mandating. That doesn't mean that that's what I'm getting excited for. That doesn't mean that that's what I'm proud of. I'm proud of every single stream that comes through. I'm proud of every listener that challenges themselves and says, you know what? This is actually for me. I wasn't gonna listen, or I was being fed by the algorithm, and this is something that I was fed, and I like this shit. Or I'm going against the algorithm. I was recommended this, I was told I would like it, or I wasn't, and I fuck with it. And so I'm gonna continue to stream it. Thank you. Love your support. Love that. Really has been doing buku numbers compared to what I was thinking. I was thinking I'm dropping this little down-tempo IDM song. It's not finna do nothing, And I don't need it to do nothing because I believe in the song. Really cues you up for the sound that you're gonna get on PXL. And it's a really good accompaniment to the other songs from Gemini and Flux that are going to be on the project along with the new songs. Like I don't know if I mentioned this way back. Pixel is going to have 13 songs on it. And about 8 of the songs, if I'm not mistaken, are new songs. And then the remainder are mixtures of songs from the first 2 EPs that I released in the previous 2 years, Flux and Gemini, as well as remastered or fully mastered versions of songs that I've released in 2022, like You and Skins, to perfectly round out the story that I'm telling with the album. Oh y'all, I got so much shit on the way. Like Autismo said, it's amazing that somebody who's going through emotional trauma, an emotionally abusive relationship that ended in domestic violence is still working on a tour, a mini tour, a film, a zine, an album release with a merch attachment. Absolutely, I still am. It just kind of came together. I'm looking at this work that I have to complete and I'm like, that's a lot of work too. Absolutely. I think that's a lot of work too. But it's work that I just feel is intuitive. I operate off of intuition when I'm composing my projects. So all of these parts, this film, this mini tour, this zine, this merch, this audio, and this communication campaign that I have to go along with it. All of this is intuitive. All of this is stuff that I feel like adds to the value of the album and is going to add to your experience. And so that's why I do it. Regardless of what I'm going through, I made a promise and I made a commitment to my audience to continue to deliver what I know that I'm capable of and to even exceed my own capacities and my own expectations for what my vision can really sound like and look like, in this way. So I set out to make Pixel a project that was going to capture in real time, a hard experience for me. I said with Pixel, I'm not going to turn away from negative experiences. I'm going to put the negative experiences into the art, and I'm going to allow myself to be inspired by emotions that make me uncomfortable. Really, Pixel started out as I'm going to be inspired. I'm going to make music when I'm mad. I'm going to make music when I'm scared. I'm going to make music when I'm mad. I'm going to make music when I have like a petty irritation, that is going to resolve in an hour. I'm going to make music when I have an irritation that takes days to get over. Pixel is made from discomfort. Pixel is made from getting emotions out that I usually try to pretty up, or that I usually try to hide away from. I said, I'm not going to hide away from these difficult emotions that I'm going through at the end of this relationship. I'm going to capture them in musical form. I'm going to capture them in visual art form, and I'm going to represent it to my audience in a way that I know that they're going to digest and be transformed by. And that's what PXL is about. Okay? Absolutely. And while I'm here, I do want to shout out. I want to shout out by name some of the playlists that I've been included in. Whenever my email client must, here we go. Matthew Daniels. Matthew Peter Daniels. What is their playlist? Oh my gosh, y'all. I'm so sorry about this. Okay. I'm just going to do that. I'm going to shout them out in the description. Just know that really got added to about 5 really well-curated, well-crafted playlists that just really help to push me in the algorithm to listeners like hopefully you that are really kind of fans of this sound that I do, really fans of this experimental approach that I take to electronic music, which is what my vision is all about. It's about challenging the expectations that come with electronic music. Electronic music can still be experimental while being accessible. It's all about duality with my music. Gemini, which literally references, twins and duality, is a reference to my conceptualization there, but really my music is all about taking contrasts, taking things that you don't expect to go together and pairing them together. So I'm pairing beautiful electronic music with traumatic life experiences. I'm pairing the beauty of the human experience with the ugly of it. I'm pairing light and dark, trauma and comfort, healing and trauma, I'm finding all these dualities and I'm not hiding from the ugly parts of them. I'm not trying to beauty them up. I'm putting them into the art and I'm presenting it to you saying, don't you feel like this? Doesn't this feel like when you feel like this and this at the same time? Doesn't this feel like when you feel high and low at the same time and shit is not going to reconcile? Look at where we're at as a country, United States, if you are an American. If you're not even an American, look at where we're at as a world, All of us are experiencing light and dark in various ways, in high ways and low ways. And I think this music, this album, PXL, is a really good encapsulation of that, at least my perspective on how you manage such light and darkness in life. So, comedic relief. I busted my ass on my scooter this week, y'all. Here we go. I'm about to get up. All right. Here go my ankle. Y'all see my ankle? Oh, I got the Band-Aid. I have a boo-boo. I made a boo-boo. So what happened? I was scootering and I'm just like, okay. It was like 7:55 or something like that. And I'm like, I could just go down the street and go back home. Or I could take a few extra minutes and go down the street with a really steep incline to see how fast this scooter can go. So I did that instead. When I got to the bottom, I failed to realize that the gravel was uneven. Y'all know how asphalt get, all craggly, spaces in it and stuff. The wheel went over that. Scooter went that way. I went that way. Ankle first. Okay. Gravity reminded me she's real and she's present. Okay. So I want to thank cannabis for helping me heal from that. And I also want to thank the wine mixed with margarita that I had that got me to sleep that night. Because sleeping on my right side, sleeping in anything touching that, burns like a bitch. Friction burn, hurts like a bitch, y'all. You already know. All right, now closing. I'm not at the top. Perspective-wise, and life performance-wise, I'm not at my best. I'm not at my worst. My worst is behind me. So that's a blessing. That's a blessing. Like y'all, I'm fighting forces, I'm fighting pressures, I'm fighting the light and the dark. I'm experiencing light and dark at the same time. Sometimes it's confusing. I don't know what to do with it. I put it into this album. PXL is about me trying to reconcile the light and dark, the identity fragmentation that comes with ending a relationship that has been such a key part of your identity for the past 7 years, and that everybody knows you to be attached to, and then finally uncoupling from that, uncoupling from who you were with that person, and rediscovering yourself and loving your strengths and finding a way to work with those strengths in your new life. That's what PXL is about. I want to say Pixel's on the way, PXL is on the way. It's going to sound like boundaries. It's going to sound like trauma and healing. It's going to sound like self-loss, ego death, and finding one's self-worth all in one. It's both at the same time. A lot of these songs have melancholic and euphoric elements all in the same song. Some of these songs all of the songs are atmosphere. All these songs are introspective, are meant to get you to reflect, get you to be retrospective, get you to look at your past, your present, and question how you feel about it. They're made to. This album is made to get you in touch with those emotions that you can't quite put your finger on, and that you need to spend more time with, but that you're too either insecure or uncomfortable to do so. This album is going to guide you through that. A lot of the content that I'm going to be sharing related to the album as we get closer to it and as it is released and before it's released is going to be helping you get in touch with those emotions that you just can't quite put your finger on and that you don't like to confront. This album is going to create a safe space for you to confront those uncomfortable emotions and help you find that self-growth that I'm trying to help you reach, that I'm trying to reach, that we're all trying to reach, right? I want to thank you to my parents as well. I want to thank you to my listeners. I want to thank you to the curators so far who have believed in really and all my music thus far. I want to thank the influencers who have supported my music thus far. I want to thank the fans and the listeners who have included all my music in their visuals. Make sure that you include my music and tag my music in your social media videos, in your YouTube videos. You usually are able to add my music, in the part of the post creation where you're able to do that. So make sure you do that and make sure you tag me whenever you use my stuff in your videos. I would love to help promote. I'm very big for resharing and even adding some little marketing, to your post. And so if you want to get, some co-marketing or some co-promotion done for your posting that features my stuff, just share it with me. And that's a very easy way to get that done because I will always do that. Just thank you to everybody who has supported me in the various ways that you can do it, meaning playing, liking, sharing. Thank you to the 2 people who have purchased really thus far. Thank you to the hundreds of people who have purchased my music thus far. We're all on this Nctrnm tribe. We're all in this Nctrnm tribe trying to take this vision that I have for what electronic music and visual art and their synchronicity can truly be. And you're all supporting that. I'm working towards that every day. I'm here. I've been through the trenches, okay? And I'm on my way up. That's what y'all need to know. And this is PXLTV5. I'm still here. I'm still becoming. I'm proud of that. I'm proud of y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I want to say thank you to Autismo. There we go. Thank you to Autismo. Thank you to Icons, EYEKONS_OFC. And I think that's everybody. Sometimes we're quick. It's my phone, y'all. It's telling me to shut the fuck up. Sometimes we're quick and sometimes we're not. This is one of the times I wasn't quick. I wanted to just be a little bit more verbose because I know I've been a little bit more touch and go since the first few weeks after I released Really. But that's been because I've been recovering. I've been getting my mind right. Like you said, like Autismo said, it's been a lot. And there's some days where all I can do is wake up, drink my water, make my tea, take my bath. Sometimes I take a couple of naps throughout the day. Why? Because of the employment thing. I told y'all about the employment thing. Can't pass the background check. So unfortunately, we can't really be doing the jobs like that because it'll fuck up, how we appear to the employers because of how we did on the third party background check. So what I've been doing is spending time in mindfulness. Like I said, sometimes just waking up, drinking my water, making my tea, taking my baths, taking naps when I get overwhelmed with my emotions, and just creating space for myself. That's what I've really been doing since, the DV incident, since the ending of the relationship. And I've also just been taking the time to come back to myself, establish boundaries, reestablish self-respect, get in touch with my values, validate my values and my own experiences outside of my relationship. Just slowing down to recover, slowing down to survive. Like you guys have seen, not really traveling as much as I have in the past, except for on my scooter. Not really doing too much because I'm just trying to recover and just trying to give myself the space that I need going into this new semester, this fall semester, this final year that I'm going to be spending on my education in undergrad to get my bachelor's degree in decision science as an emphasis within business administration. It's a lot. There's a lot happening. I'm working on, like I said, this album, the film, the mini tour, the zine, merch, the fall semester, graduating, live streams, content. I'm doing a lot. I'm doing a lot of shit. So just because I had to self-defend and because, of the way things were sequenced and I had to go to jail and I'm getting things dismissed and it takes time to do that, because of that whole process, that's not keeping me down. I'm not down about that. I defended myself. I held my own and I'm proud of myself. You don't see any marks on my face. You don't see any marks. You don't see none of the punches landed. Okay. None of what he tried to do to me landed. Because my dad taught me what my dad had me in Kung Fu Sansu. No motherfucker who puts his hands to me is gonna win. That's not how I was raised. Okay. Now if you got weapons and you got a crew, that's different. Okay, but if we're just talking one-on-one and we're talking, oh, you trying to hurt me? I'm not about to let that happen. Nctrnm, I built this, it's on my back. I'm not about to let anything happen to me, whether by my hand or somebody else's hand. And this situation proves that. So if that means that my background check has to show what it has to show, and then I have to go back to court in September to get things dismissed, then that's what we have to do. And if that means I have to sit down and shut my ass up and work on my own stuff, work on this that I built myself, that nobody can tell me no because of a background check for, and that's what I have to do, and that's what I've been doing. So like I said, slowing down to survive, reestablishing these boundaries, releasing this music, working on these deliverables for this album, falling off my scooter, busting my ass. Also a thank you to a special you-know-who for selling me the scooter. I fucked up my old scooter, y'all, so I had to buy a new scooter, and somebody who means a lot to me is who sold me the scooter. So I want to thank him in this moment. I'm going to send him the live stream, this specific part, because I want him to see it and know that I really appreciate him for everything. And in closing, like I said, I'm not at the bottom. I'm not at the pits where I was. I'm not in jail. Okay. I'm not with somebody who I'm not meant to be with, unfortunately. Unfortunately that we're not meant to be together. Not unfortunately that I'm not with him. But instead I'm with my family. I'm rebuilding. I feel so proud of myself. I feel so strong. I feel so ready for 2026, starting in March when I get on the road and I start meeting y'all. The Pixel tour, it has a west and the eastern part, but I can't even, there's so much, y'all. That's why this is so long, because there's so much. But for now, I'm just going to end this. Thank you for joining me on PXLTV5. I want to thank again Autismo. I want to thank again Icons, EYEKONS_OFC. Both of them for subscribing, both of them for engaging with me during this live stream and asking some great questions. I'm going to get this edited. Usually it takes me up to a week. I'm going to chop it into parts. This is 40 minutes, so I'm probably going to chop it into, the 3 or 4 parts, y'all, because I want everybody to engage with everything that I said here. So, yeah. Thank you for tuning in to PXLTV5. I've had a great time, and I will catch y'all on the flip side. Thank you, Nctrnm tribe. Love y'all. Make sure y'all subscribe. I don't know where the button is, but make sure y'all hit it. Turn on notifications. Okay, engage with the post. Download really, buy really, add it to your library, stream it, do all that shit. Anything that you can think of, even if it's just one of those things, just make sure you do it. I really appreciate it. I see it all. I love y'all. With love. Next time. Nctrnm out.